Blackpool Pleasure Beach fans may be eagerly awaiting the return of Valhalla, but back in 1999, fans of the park and theme park enthusiasts all over the world were eagerly anticipating more news about Project 2000. Valhalla's location in the Pleasure Beach is where the once much-loved funhouse attraction used to be. The funhouse burnt down in 1991. A top-secret development was teased by the Pleasure Beach as early on as 1994 on the park's official map in the old funhouse location, with this being the same on all of the park maps in the years that followed. Construction of Project 2000 begun before the ride theme had even been determined. Regardless of the theme, Blackpool Pleasure Beach's MD at the time, Geoffrey Thompson, was keen to bring an immersive, world-class dark ride experience to the Pleasure Beach which would appeal to all the family and not just thrill seekers. Geoffrey Thompson was keen to keep the new rides coming at the Pleasure Beach, following the success of previous large-scale projects such as Avalanche, the Big One, and PlayStation The Ride, now known as Ice Blast. Several ride manufacturers were approached about the project, but in the end it would be Intamin that would provide the Pleasure Beach with the ride system. Project 2000's ride system was tested with and without riders before the scenes for the ride were finalised. This was due to the Pleasure Beach wanting to have a clear idea about the speed of the boats through each part of the ride, as well as knowing where the water splashes would go before deciding on where themed scenes would be placed and what would feature in those scenes. One thing that was decided on very early was the use of fire effects, something which can be seen in early test footage when the ride's building is still an empty shell. Following 8 years of research and development, Project 2000 would eventually be revealed as Valhalla in a press event hosted by Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but even with the reveal of the name and the theme, not much else was given away about what riders could expect. The ride's theme is based on Valhalla from Norse mythology, an immortal resting place for Viking warriors. Whilst this is the ride's theme with Viking scenes throughout, there's no actual story throughout the ride. Valhalla features special effects throughout the ride, including fire, water, snow, thunder and lightning. Temperatures during the ride plummet to minus 20 degrees Celsius in some parts and shoot right up to 110 degrees Celsius in other parts. It was truly an attraction like nothing before it when it first opened. The companies who helped bring the Valhalla project to life with themed elements and special effects are Pharma Studios, the Attraction Services Company, Technifex and ATL Monoglass. Geoffrey Thompson is quoted to have estimated that Valhalla could bring in an extra 1 million guests a year. With this and Blackpool Pleasure Beach's paper ride system in mind, Valhalla was designed to operate with 25 boats at a time. Valhalla opened in June 2000. It was officially opened by TV presenter Jonathan Ross and Jane Goldman. At the time of opening, Valhalla was sponsored by the Daily Star newspaper in an initial 3-year deal. Blackpool Pleasure Beach believed this would help give their new attraction and the park nationwide coverage in one of the country's most popular newspapers. From a ride experience point of view, it has to be considered as a success. It has won awards for being the world's best water ride on numerous occasions, even doing so in its most recent year of operation. From a financial point of view, it has regularly been debated by fans of Blackpool Pleasure Beach if it was a success or a failure, with rumours of the ride costing nearly £150,000 a month to operate in peak periods. This is unconfirmed but has been heavily rumoured in the past. In 2001, the year after Valhalla had debuted at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, things had started to change at the Pleasure Beach, with selected rides remaining closed throughout large parts of the season and a new, unlimited rider's wristband available to guests as well as paper ride tickets. It has regularly been debated that the running costs of Valhalla were to blame for some of the ride closures, but much like the rumoured monthly costs, that rumour has never been proven to be true or false. In the years that followed, wristbands became more and more popular at the Pleasure Beach, with paper ride tickets being used less and being priced higher to encourage the sale of wristbands. During those years, Valhalla's capacity dropped, with it no longer operating a 25-boat service. It was more common to see a 16-boat service in the mid to late 2000s. In fairness, the capacity drop is understandable now that paper ride days are a distant memory, and even on an 8-boat service in its final operational season, the queue wasn't particularly slow. In 2011, rumours of Valhalla's removal started to be posted on Blackpool Pleasure Beach fan forums, but it was never from a credible source. Instead, Valhalla would undergo a large refurbishment, including the facade being completely rebuilt. The Valhalla exit shot was removed and the exit pathway rerouted. Inside of the attraction, some of the original scenes which had not been in use for a while were removed and replaced. The lighting was improved, as well as improvements to the ride's audio. On the subject of audio, did you know Valhalla's much-loved Song of the Elders soundtrack was originally used in Blackpool Pleasure Beach's Hot Ice show? The music was not used on Valhalla in its opening season and may not return when the ride reopens in 2022. Following the first refurbishment, Valhalla reopened in May 2012. Valhalla was once again voted as the world's best water ride, but not as soon as it reopened. It won the award every year between 2015 and 2019. In December 2019, it was confirmed by Blackpool Pleasure Beach that Valhalla would be closed in 2020, whilst the gods were reimagining it ready for the park's 125th year anniversary celebrations in 2021. Unsurprisingly, the gods were delayed with their work of Valhalla due to the global pandemic, so understandably Valhalla will now return to the ride lineup in 2022. Just like the early days of Project 2000, the plans for this ride have been kept very, very quiet, which means we're all in for a big surprise when the ride does eventually reopen. Do you think Valhalla has been a success at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and what would you like to see done during the current refurbishments? If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It will be a massive help to this channel. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.